You're listening to Profit Without Worry, episode number 93. Over the past few years, a ton of new funnel software has hit the market, and it seems like everyone's gone crazy for the word funnel. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 things the big names don't want you to know about funnels and what to do instead. Hey there, I'm Michelle Evans, and this is the show where coaches, experts, and business owners like us get real about what it takes to create a profitable online business. I can tell you from experience that nonstop hustle plus random acts of marketing do not equal success. So how do we attract a steady flow of clients and sales without all the hustle? This is the Profit Without Worry podcast. Hey, welcome back, and thank you for tuning in this week. Gotta ask you, have you taken the time to subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode? If not, it's so easy to do. You can go to your podcast app of choice or directly to the website at profitwithoutworry.com/free. Opt in for the freebie that goes with the podcast, and you will get notified every single week. Also, I'd love to connect with you. If you haven't already, it's so easy to do. You can email me questions or comments or feedback, michelle@michelleLevans.com, or just hit me up. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Tag me and use the hashtag ProfitWithoutWorry so that hopefully I see your message. So I know once in a while I miss them with the tags, but I try. You can ask a question, you can leave a comment, you can just say hi. I love to put a face with your name to know who's tuning in each and every week. Okay, let's dive into today's show. So, like I said at the beginning, over the last few years, there's been so much funnel software, marketing funnel software, sales funnel software that has hit the market. And it seems like everybody's gone crazy for the word funnel and that it's sort of synonymous with technology. And I really want to break this down because there are 5 things that the big names don't want you to know about funnels because it doesn't actually make them money. And I want to help you understand that because, it's not just about the technology. In fact, number 1, the secret to a high-performing funnel is not the technology. Look, I don't care if you're using ClickFunnels, Leadpages, OptimizePress, Thrive Architect, Kartra, Kajabi, or WordPress, or really anything else. I don't care what technology you choose to use because a high-performing funnel does not happen simply by the technology that you choose. In fact, what I usually tell people is choose the easiest one for you. Just choose one. You just need a place for people to go. Because the secret to a high-performing funnel, number 1, is not the technology. You know what this first secret is? It's about knowing the problem your audience already wants to solve. You got to get clear on those problems. And, if you can put up the fanciest funnel, you can hire super talented copywriters. You can get beautiful graphic design. You can have the most amazing, web or technology person doing all this for you. And you could waste $10,000, $20,000 pretty quickly. If you don't know the problem that your audience wants to solve, there is literally no technology that will save you. Nothing will save you. If your audience is not interested, they're not interested. I always use this because it came from some classic marketing training from the 50s. If somebody has never had a headache, you are not going to sell them aspirin. They just don't have a need for it, right? They don't ever see a need for it. The same thing goes for whatever you sell. It's not about the technology. It's not about, should I be on ClickFunnels or Kartra or Kajabi, or there's just a bajillion of these things out there now. It's not about that. It's about tapping into the problem that your audience wants to solve. Start there. That is the number 1 secret to a high-performing funnel. No matter what you do your funnel. Some people do funnels where they do an Instagram or a Facebook Live and they invite people to book a time with them, and they're so tapped into their audience and the pain that they have and how they can solve it that people just book right there. Like, you don't have to be super fancy. You do need some technology. Like, let's not go crazy here. But, you just need a tiny bit. You don't need a ton. All right, secret number 2. The secret to a high-performing funnel is not your cool factor. Oh my gosh. I have heard this so many times. And I know I myself have said this. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't love doing video. I'm not like the social media guru. Like, there's lots of things. I don't have a video team, whatever it is. The secret to a high-performing funnel is not your cool factor. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on creating crazy videos and all these things. Instead, again, secret number 1 is knowing your audience's problem. Secret number 2 is really making sure that you have the ability to solve your audience's problems and that you have proven that you have the ability to solve your audience problems. They probably don't really care what you look like. I know some people who only do, written stuff or who only do screen grab videos. They're never on video themselves, and they do amazing funnels. If you're fabulous on video or if you're fabulous on audio or whatever, fantastic. Use your skills. But you don't have to become somebody that you're not. That's the whole point here. And I have seen a lot of big names out there who try to make their audience feel like you have to become this whole other person. You have to become this crazy extrovert. You have to be sort of Gary Vaynerchuk-like, where you're just like constantly on, constantly creating content, constantly doing that stuff. And the truth is, no, you don't. If that's you, if that's how you naturally show up and that's your abilities, great, be like that. But if that's not you, don't feel like you have to become that. You don't. Your cool factor isn't really what your audience cares about so much. In fact, that's putting your eyes on yourself. They want you to take your eyes off yourself and put it on them. So, secret number 1 was your audience wants to know, you need to know what your audience's problem is. Secret number 2 is you need to be able to show that you can solve that problem. One of the best ways to do that is through content. Content. So when I say that, a lot of times people kind of tense up and they're like, I don't like doing that stuff. I understand. And I, hated doing content for a really long time too. So, there's a few things you can do. When you really do tap into the problem that your audience has, content becomes a lot easier because you're basically simply creating content that answers problems. I've shared this in past episodes. I first noticed Denise Duffield-Thomas doing this in the B-School group. So I've been in that group since I think 2013. And I would notice people asking questions about pricing, about money, about cash flow, about all this stuff. And she always seemed to have a video or a podcast or a blog post about what they were asking about. And I was like, geez, she's like reading people's minds before they even know what they want. And then like a year in, I was like, no, she's not. She's paying attention to what people are asking and she's creating content to answer those questions. And she's doing it in such a way that she doesn't have to be the only one who's sharing it. Her audience starts sharing it too. And she becomes, she's proving that she knows how to solve the problem that her audience already knows they have. And so I want you to really think about creating content in a different way. That you're creating content to answer questions. You're creating content to fill in gaps that your audience is already looking for. Because that's how you're really going to attract and connect with them. And then within that content, and I don't care how you create your content. I don't care if you do video. I don't care if you do a podcast. I don't care if you write blogs. I don't care if you do news stories. I don't care how you do your content. You need to do it in a way that feels good for you and that uses your natural talent, skills, and abilities. But what you want to do is always bridge into how they can move forward with you? Do you have a lead magnet they can download to go deeper? Do you have a webinar? Do you have a call? Do you have some way for them to get to know more about you and not just through your website? Like send them to something specific. So that's the secret number 2. Okay, number 3 thing that the big guys don't want you to know. The secret to a high-performing funnel is not in copycat templates. I really want to say that again. It's not about you copying somebody else. It's not about funnel hacking. It's not about any of that stuff. I think that stuff's important for you to just understand what your competition is doing and how they're going about it. But I am not a fan of just doing copycat templates because number 1, we don't know if it's working for them, right? You don't know behind the scenes what their conversion numbers are. You don't know how they're warming people up to get there. You don't have all the information. So when I see people out there saying, yeah, just swipe and use this template and just, update the headline with your stuff. Templates are a great way to get started, but you've got to make sure that it's in line with who you are, because the number 3 secret that you need to worry about is the secret to a high-performing funnel is about building trust and relationship with your audience. And that's done far, far before they ever hit any of your marketing funnel pages. That's done by you creating content that answers questions and problems they have. That's done by you sharing stories or examples from yourself and from your clients and from your students. That's done, trust building is done by showing up consistently week after week, day after day to build a relationship with your audience in a way that they're like, I can really, this is a person that I can trust. They're not here today, gone for 3 months and then back again. They're always here, always providing content. And so, and when I say providing content, I don't mean just churning out things that you're not connected to. You want to provide content that proves that you can solve their problem, that depending on where it's at, like if it's on Instagram or Facebook, maybe it's a bit aspirational or a bit behind the scenes peek into who you are. But you always want to be building that trust and building the relationship and proving that you're somebody that walks your talk, that lives what you teach. And if you don't, that's the number 1 place to start, is really walk your talk. Don't be teaching something that you're not doing yourself. All right, number 4 thing that the big guys don't want you to know. The secret to a high-performing funnel is not in complicated systems. Look, I can complicate things with the best of them. I worked at Microsoft, for goodness sakes. We're like the best at complicating things out there. Maybe NASA's better, but still, we're really good at complicating things. And what I have found over and over and over again is that yes, you do need a system. You do need a system that supports you. You're never going to have profit without worry if you don't have a sales system. Just bottom line. But, simple is always better than complicated, especially when you're trying to build out your first profit without worry system, right? When you're trying to build out your first, how do I get people from, kind of knowing about me to maybe reading a blog post of mine to wanting to talk to me about working together? How do I make that happen? Make it as simple as possible. I mean, sometimes when I'm working with clients and we're just testing out offers, they might have a team that can build out all the tech that we need, but we do the down and dirty testing all the time. So maybe we have a podcast or a blog or a video with a simple call to action. Book a call here. Download this here. Just go, do something here just to see if it works. When you start out simple, you're always going to be able to make it more complicated down the road. But when you start out simple, you're going to know what works and what doesn't work very quickly. You're not going to have to guess. You're not going to have to spend thousands of dollars and weeks of time testing. You're going to know, hey, I've done this series, maybe 3-4 days. Is anybody even interested? And if not, what do I need to tweak? Are people clicking on it but not opting in? Are people clicking on it but not booking a call? If so, what's missing? And I always tell people this, I see people teaching about funnels and they're like, then do this upsell and then do this, sideways sell and then do this downsell and, get the most you can out of them. That is so incredibly complicated. And if people are honest, you don't get to that level of sophistication and complication straight out of the gate. You start as simple as you can, and then you plug more stuff into it if you want to. So again, the secret to a high-performing funnel, it's not in complicated systems. It's in keeping it simple. What's the problem that you solve? How are you going to prove that you can solve it? And what's the next step that somebody needs to take to work with you? And you could theoretically do that with just a blog page. Really. You could be in, a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or somewhere, Quora or whatever online, where people are asking questions. You could have a blog post that you create that answers those questions and then invites them to go deeper, to download something, to sign up for something, to, set a time to talk with you. And that could be as simple as your initial funnel is. And that's okay. In fact, that's a great way to test. All right, number 5 thing that the big guys don't want you to know. The secret to a high-performing funnel is not in trickery. It's not. Yes, it's helpful to know different headline writing styles and that kind of stuff. And yes, it's helpful to have traffic coming to your site because you need people to be looking at what you've done. But I hate it when I see people teaching about trickery, teaching about fake it till you make it, teaching about follow this 7-figure copywriting formula or whatever. Because yes, you need to be clear. Yes, you need to know how to write copy. That is true. But if you're trying to squeeze yourself into one formula that is probably built for somebody who's not you, it's not really going to work, no matter how good you are at writing copy. And it's really not going to work if you're not that great at writing copy. Because more importantly, you need to prove that you can deliver on your promise. You need people saying, hey, did you see this person? Wow, they're amazing. I had a 30-minute call. I signed up for, one quick thing, and wow, did she deliver. That's what you need. You don't need to be tricking people into opening their wallets and giving you money and then hoping that you can deliver on the back end. That is not a way to build a good reputation, a good brand, a sustainable business, or anything like that. You need to have a way to get in front of the right people, for sure. And then more importantly, you need to deliver on your promise. You need people recommending you. There are some people that I've hired over the years that I would never, ever recommend anybody work with. And then there are other people that I send, people to them probably every single month. And the people who deliver, the people who do what they say they're going to do, the people who I can count on, even if things don't go perfectly right all the time, where we can have a good dialogue and I know that they're going to deliver, I love sending referrals to them, and your audience will too. But they need to know that you're going to deliver on your promise, and you need to consistently show up and deliver. And so whenever I see, again, people, the big guys teaching about, having a high performing funnel is all about these trickeries and these specific words and phrases that you need to use, and learn NLP because then you're going to be able to get people into your funnel and fake it till you make it. I just say a big fat no to all of that. I say get to know your audience intimately, get to know their problems, get to know where they hang out, and prove that you're the person that can deliver, and then just deliver. So those are the 5 things that the big guys don't want you to know. Number 1, a high-performing funnel is not about the technology. Obviously, a lot of people are out there selling the tech, so they want you to think that the tech is all, all that you need for a high-performing funnel. But you and I know that you got to start with knowing your audience's problem. Number 2, the secret to a high-performing funnel is not your cool factor. Please, please, please hear me. I also am a human. I also know what it means to feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. This is really overwhelming. And I do it anyways. And I'm going to invite you to do the same. It's not about being cool. It's not about being a different person than who you are. It's about being you and showing up and serving your audience. That's what they care about. Are you serving me? Are you helping me? They don't care about how fancy or fantastic your videos or audios or whatever are. They want to know, will you help me? Number 3, the secret to a high-performing funnel is not in copycat templates. Please hear me. Be you. Have your own brand. Have your own voice. Have your own look. It's okay to be different than what other people are doing. I don't want you to think that going out there and funnel hacking or just ripping off what somebody else is doing is going to be a plug and play instant success for your business. It won't. I guarantee you, I've seen so many people that have fallen into this trap, and it's a really alluring trap because it seems like, ooh, I could just, imitate or mimic their page and I'd be off and running. You're not going to be. You're not going to be, because you don't know what's happening outside of that page. You don't know if it's converting behind the scenes. You don't have all the information. You just see the shiny, beautiful looking page, but you don't know if it's actually working. Instead, I want you to focus on building trust and relationship with your audience and just prove that you can solve their problems. Number 4, the big guys don't want you to know that the secret to a high-performing funnel is not in being complicated and complex and overwhelming. It's about having a simple, straightforward system. That's it. And number 5, the secret to a high-performing funnel is not in trickery. Please don't fall for that. It's not, and it's being clear, and it's being focused on your audience, and it's getting in there and really serving your audience and delivering on what you say you're going to do. So there's the big 5. I'd love to hear how, any ahas that you had from this and how this goes for you. I know I talk about it a lot, about focusing on the problem your audience has. And a lot of times when I meet with even my clients, I'll say, okay, in this promotion, what's the problem that we're solving? And it usually takes us 20 to 30 minutes to really hammer down into what is the actual problem that we're solving. Not what's the good sounding problem that we're solving, but what's the actual problem that we're solving. Once we get to that, everything else falls into place so much easier. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Sometimes we get so close into our business that we think, oh, I know all the problems and I can, just show them how to take that next step forward. But I want you to really back up and say, am I using my audience's words? Am I clear on what the problem is that I'm solving with this? Am I clear on what benefit they're going to get from this? Just do that and you will create yourself a high-performing marketing funnel system, even if it's simply a blog post to a call with you. Yes, my friend, that is a marketing funnel, especially if on the call you're able to deliver some value and invite them to work with you. A marketing funnel can start off that simple. All right, as you were listening to this, did you think of someone who could use these insights about creating profit without worry in their own business? About how, not falling for these big guy traps of the technology and the complication and all that stuff? If so, would you do both of us a favor and share this episode with them? It's super easy to do from whatever podcasting app you're listening on, or you can just share the URL for today's show, which is profitwithoutworry.com/episode-93. And your friend can listen right there. And don't forget to download your freebie, the 5 Steps to Profit Without Worry. You can get that at today's show notes or profitwithoutworry.com/free so that you can see what it takes to create a movement with your marketing. All right, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here next week. Same time, same place, on another great episode of The Marketing Funnel Show. See you then.